still by myself. Jason is still freaking in Italy. Won't come home. He refuses. Says, screw this. I'm not coming back. Can't do anything about it. I believe he is going to Paris tomorrow, maybe? I don't know. Supposed to do a podcast from Eiffel Tower, but his wife is probably going to put an end to that and will not let it happen. So if you don't get the special Eiffel Tower edition of the Red, White, and Blues podcast from the top of the Eiffel Tower, you can blame Jason's wife. But don't blame her, really, because she really is a really nice, sweet person. So she really is cool. Anyway, shout out Kristen. We'll shout you out on the podcast. I think we said your name on here before. Okay. I'm sorry if we haven't. My bad. But anyway, we are back. I'm not in all black this week. I went with a lighter color, went with white, went with gray. Not in mourning, not sad. I guess happy is a good word to a good way to put it this week. Not going to get on here and bash Clear Lake. Maybe I will, because it's fun to do. It is one of my favorite things to do currently in life, is just to tell Clear Lake to fuck off. Yes, I just dropped an F-bomb. Fuck off, Clear Lake. That's all I got to say about that. And yeah, anyway, City on Sunday drew 1-1. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat things. I'm not going to try and spin this. I predicted a 5-1 loss. I'm just going to say things didn't look good. It did not look good for the home team. Well, away team, technically, I guess, in this situation. It didn't look good for Chelsea. And I didn't have a lot of hope. I didn't have a lot of optimism that we were going to get anything out of this match. I mean, we still haven't beaten City since the Champions League final. But then again, that trumps everything. But to say the least, we did get a point. We did get something from the match. And to get something from City in the state that this club is in currently is just crazy. And I think that, you know, I think first and foremost, I just want to give a shout out to Callum McFarlane, who he might have just replaced Jose. He might have jumped Conte. He might have jumped Tommy T as my favorite manager ever at Chelsea. I don't know. This guy has just the peak aura. If you saw his press conference, if you saw the stills that came from this press conference, the dude looked like he was about to cry. He just had this stone cold face on. Scared to death is what it looked like. But now I'm realizing that is the face of a stone cold killer. Mr. Callum, you are the man. You got your flowers at the end of the match when Reese pulled you over to the away fan section to give you applause. You deserved it because you didn't play scared. You didn't do things that were counterproductive to us scoring goals. You weren't subbing defenders on in the 85th minute when we're down goals. So, Callum, to you, I salute you, sir. You had a magnificent match. Just peak. You also get kudos because you started Josh. You started Josh and Esteval. Look, don't agree with your Esteval sub at halftime, especially with the way Neto played. We might get that a little bit later. But you did start Esteval and Josh, which this podcast is pro Josh, pro Esteval, and we love both those guys. And the fact that you started both of them in the same match, in your first match as a Chelsea manager, won't be your last. But kudos to you, sir. Mr. Callum, you are, if we gave awards out on this show, which we don't until the end of the year, which you might, if we give out a Chelsea Manager of the Year award, because you will probably win it. Just going to throw that one out there. You're probably going to win the Chelsea Manager of the Year award this year. Yeah, man, just great match. You didn't coach scared. And that's one thing that I think a lot of managers coming in on a 2-day notice, less than a week's notice, getting called up from the U21s, U18s to come manage the first team. Like, You didn't coach scared. You just slapped your balls on the table. You let it all hang out, and you got us a point. And in the circumstances that surrounded this match and everything that had led up to it, kudos to you, Mr. Callum. You are the man, one of my favorite Chelsea managers ever. To see you, I did not know he could smile until the end of that match. And they showed a picture of him on the sidelines, and he was smiling. And I was glad to see that. I was glad to see his reaction and his joy to the Enzo Fernandez goal at the end of the match. Starting lineup wise, I thought that he picked the best team that he could. Like, does anybody want Gusto playing left back? Absolutely not. But we don't have another left back at this point. I mean, we had Hato. I guess he could have played Hato there, and he did sub Hato in later in the match and moved Gusto to the right back and took Josh out the match. But he didn't start with that. And Gusto has shown that he's okay. He's versatile. He can play both sides. And it was just such a relief to not see Gusto going into the striker position this match. Probably my favorite thing about the match. Gusto didn't go forward, bounding into the box to try and score goals. It was fantastic. It was a setup. Sanchez out. Jurgensen came in. Jurgensen made me nervous. A couple times the City players were closing him down quick, and he had the ball at his feet. Made me super nervous, super anxious. But hey, he didn't have to do a lot in the match. I mean, in all honesty, he didn't do a lot. I was trying to see if I could pull his stats up, see what his saves were, but I don't see it. Here we go. Goalkeeping. Yeah, he only had 2 saves. Let in 1. Save 2. So, I mean, hey, didn't have to do a lot. So, kudos to Jurgensen. Decent match. Great to see Josh at right back. That was fantastic. Loved every minute that I got to see Josh play right back. Do think he got pulled in the wrong direction. I think he got sucked up a little bit too much in the match. I don't know if that was the way he was told to play, or he was just eager to make an impression. I don't know what it is. He seemed to be a little more undisciplined this match than what he normally is. But hey, he's 19, 18, whatever the frick Josh is. And it was amazing to see him out there. Love it. Badiashile, shit. Just straight shit. And again, I don't know what you're going to do in this situation. The only possible lineup that I could have seen different is start Reese at right back. Or start Hato at left back if you want Reese in the midfield to start the match. Move Gusto to the right and start Josh and Chalobah in the middle, because Badiashile, like when our 2 backup center backs, because Wesley was out sick, and I don't believe for a minute he was sick. He thought we were going to get embarrassed and he didn't want to be on the pitch when it happened. Just my opinion. Don't like Wesley. Think he wake up with a fever. Like freaking Michael Jordan woke up with a fever and then went out and played one of the greatest games in NBA history. Cry me a freaking river, Wesley Fofana. Anyway, Badiashile, Tosin, neither one of them should see the pitch anymore. Like, that's how bad it is. Multiple times, Badiashile passed the ball right to them. Last 2 matches he's been in now, his passes or errant passes have led to goals. This match, we dropped back. We did a lot of defending. And I mean, there was a good chunk, I swear to God, about 30 minutes where we didn't get the ball across the midway line. Like, maybe if we cleared the ball, it went across the halfway line, but that was it. Like, we didn't have possession across it seemed that way. But ultimately, Badiashile, bad pass, dispossessed. I don't really remember it. I just remember Badiashile was involved in it and led to the City goal. And didn't terrible defending at the end when the City guy scored by Badiashile. It was just an all-around shit performance from Badiashile. I don't know why he keeps getting on the pitch. I don't know how he keeps getting on the pitch. But he does, somehow. And it is what it is, I guess, to this point in time. Because I ain't signing anybody in January. That's for damn sure. Anyway. I mean, like, we we sat back and played defensively, played on the counter. And I think that was the right call because we're not going to sideways pass City to death like Maresca would have tried to do. City's defense is not the greatest, and when they get sucked up high like they like to play, they're pretty easy to get in behind, and we got in behind them. We had some of the best chances throughout the match, especially in the first half. Besides their goal that they got, we had some great chances in the first half. We had the the chances, and we had chances in the second half too. But I don't know if there's any. Caicedo's out, Cucurella out, injured. Fofana sick. Sanchez picks up a knock. Played through it last week, couldn't do it this week. Understand. So I mean, like I felt like there wasn't too much you could do differently with the lineup. Maybe move Reese back to right back. And bring in Santos, because I think that honestly, like I don't like the fact that he subs Santos for Esteval. I would have much rather him sub off Neto for Santos, but the Santos sub was a game changer. The way Santos set back and defended, the way that he was winning his duel, like Santos had an amazing match. Maybe he was gearing up for his former manager, Mr. Liam Rugagugugugwapa, to come in. And yeah, I don't know, but Santos had a hell of a match. I think the biggest thing for me in this match, the biggest negatives were obviously the Badiashile and then Neto. My God, the dude was a freaking black hole this match, getting sucked in. The ball just gets sucked into him and it would just disappear. It was either disappearing right back into City's feet, or it was disappearing out of bounds. Whatever. Like, the dude had so many chances, had a sitter in front of goal, skied it, just ridiculous. We could have won this match if he doesn't sky the freaking ball. Now, granted, Haaland hit the inside of the post at one point in time. Still don't know how that ball didn't go in. It just defies physics that ball did not go in. But could have had two easily. Could have easily been a 2-2 draw. I think both teams missed chances. I do know our XG was higher than theirs at the end of the match. I don't know how when Haaland had that screamer that somehow didn't go in the goal. But yeah, it was Neto. Just we've never been a big Neto podcast. We've never really cranked the Neto bandwagon. And Neto is so inconsistent. He had so many chances on the break this match and just fumbled it. Just fumbled chances. Fumbled one right after another. That's one reason our break really couldn't get going. Palmer doesn't look Palmer-esque these days. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if the injury is still bothering him. I don't know what is going on with his injury, but I don't know what's going on with Palmer. Palmer is definitely questionable right now. Should have a lot of question marks around him because it hasn't been great lately. Like if I'm Tommy T and I'm looking at Palmer, what world is he making the World Cup roster? Like just because his name's Cole Palmer? I mean, you have players that are having much better years than him. Like you have, I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, guys. You English fans, just throwing that out there. We gladly take Cole Palmer on the USA team because we're shit. So, we got freaking Pochettino as our manager. Let that sink in for a while. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of questions around Palmer right now. He's just, I know he's coming off an injury. He's just not in form. Is what it is. This is his first, 90 minutes since September, I believe, in this match. So it was good to see him complete 90 for once. And maybe it's starting to turn the corner with him. I think he needs a couple non-penalty goals to go in to sort of build his confidence back up to get to where he's going, do what he needs to do to get back to being the Palmer of really, if you look at it, think about 2 years ago where he carried us. Last year was he had a good year. Like, it wasn't a terrible year, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the year before last. And we said on this podcast that last year that he wouldn't repeat that year, and he didn't. Still had a great year. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But this year, due to the groin injury, he just hasn't been the same. So I don't know. Had a great Club World Cup, especially in the finals. Great finals. And then it sort of just plateaued and it's fallen flat and fallen downhill a little bit. But still not as bad as Neto. Neto missing sitters in front of the goal. Killing breaks. Every chance we had a break, if somebody passed the ball to Neto, it stopped the break. It was just over with. It's so frustrating watching Neto play, and then to have Esteval sitting on the bench after being hooked. And like I said, the Esteval sub on paper isn't bad because it worked. What Callum did, what Mr. McFarland did in the second half of bringing Santos on, it worked. So you can't sit here like as big of an Esteval stan as I am, and I'm one of the biggest. I can't sit here and be negative about that. What I can be negative, or I can't sit here and critique that move because it was a great move. But what I can critique is the fact that Neto was still in the match, and that's my problem with the sub. It's not that he took Esteval off for Santos; it worked. It's the fact that Neto was still on the pitch. It was the fact that Neto missed the sitter. It was the fact that every time Neto got the ball, it just went somewhere it wasn't supposed to go. So it is what it is. I don't know. The goal at the end of the match is exactly what Gusto is good at. Gusto is good at bounding down the wings, getting by the players, and sending in crosses. That is what Gusto is good at. I will never say Gusto is bad at being a right back. He is good as a right back, especially if he's going to get forward and not be asked to just sit back in a back, three as a right center back or a back four where we just play deep. Like if defending, like his defending is good, it's just not great. But when you have Gusto in your midfield and he's trying to pass the ball and he's bounding into the box trying to score goals, that's not Gusto. That's why people were so frustrated with Gusto all the time. It was because he was being played out of position. And that just is what it is. I mean, that's the way Maresca played him. I didn't like it. I don't know too many people that did. So he just wasn't good at that position, but he is a good right back. And that's what we saw under Poch. He can bound forward. He can put the balls into the box, and that's exactly what he did at the end of the match. He went right by Nico Raleigh, and I love Nico Raleigh. I'm a huge Nico Raleigh supporter. I believe he will probably start for England in the World Cup. He will have a big impact on England's World Cup run this year. I truly believe that. I think Nico Raleigh is a great young player. And I rate him, and Gusto just went right by him. And it was a fantastic, he just, boop, 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 ball right by him, gone, cross into the box low and on the ground. And, Enzo tried to fluff it at the back post, missed the first one. Second one was saved by Donnarumma. And then the third shot, he finally put in the goal. Third time's a charm. It was a little toe poke goal. Hey, it doesn't matter how it comes. It doesn't matter how we scored that goal. It was just a matter that we got that goal, and that's what mattered. And I think that's what it showed with these players and the way they played. That is one thing that I noticed a huge difference. And I don't know how much to attribute this to the manager. I don't know how much to attribute this to just the players. I don't know who to attribute it to, but they definitely play with more fire, with more tenacity, a little more edge, with a little more anger, with a little more spunk, a little more pep in their step, if you will. Like they played like they wanted to be on the pitch for 90 minutes. And that's something that I don't think we've seen from this team in a very long time. Like Maresca never could get a full 90 out of this team. Let's just be honest. Maresca could get 45 out of them, and you just never knew which 45 it was going to be. Was it going to be a first half 45 or a second half 45? Poch, same way. Usually his was in the first half. In the second half, they were slow, probably half drunk because Poch was giving them beer and biscuits at halftime. And so, just my theory, not substantiated by any facts whatsoever. But this was the first time in a couple years we've seen a team come out, this team, Chelsea, come out and play a full 90. Maybe you can give them credit for the PSG match. That was pretty close to a full 90, I would say, over the summer. That was probably one of the few times Maresca got a full 90 out of maybe Arsenal this year. But that sucked because we went down to 10 men, and that sort of screwed us. And, yeah. But there's been – my point is that you don't see this team play a full 90. But Callum got it out of them, maybe. Maybe it was the players just wanting to prove a point. I'm hoping this carries over and it continues for the rest of the season. Like I hope their motivation is F this board, F Clear Lake, F these guys for not giving us help. We're gonna, and I mean that point you'd be proving them right if you win, but play with a chip on your shoulder for the rest of this season. Play with that chip. That chip will carry you. I don't know if it'll carry. It's not going to carry us to a Premier League title. That's obvious. It's not going to carry us probably to Champions League. But can you make a run in Champions League? Use that chip to make a run in the Champions League. Make the quarters. Make the semis. Use that chip. Use that chip to make an FA Cup run. So, it is what it is. I really felt like it was a different feeling, different vibes from the team. And like I said, I don't know if that's because they were playing, maybe they were playing for Maresca. I don't know. I'm not sitting here trying to pinpoint why. I just know they did, which means they're capable of it. And so we just need to see that going forward for the rest of the season. That's what I want to see. I want to see that fight. I want to see that tenacity. I want to see that hunger, that desire that they played with against City, because they never gave up. They kept pushing. They kept going for the goal, despite Neto trying to screw them, despite Neto doing his best to lose the match for his team. Everybody else persevered. Everybody else kept fighting, and they did, and they fought to the end, and they got the goal, and they got the draw, and they got a point. Nobody, including myself, thought we would get a point out of this match. Everything, the writing on the wall said, you're going to get killed by City if you're Chelsea today. Pundits thought that. I thought that. Jason, I asked him before the game. I think he predicted 4-1. I know he didn't get to watch it, but I was updating him throughout the whole thing. And, I just think it was a very inspired performance. And, you do get these things when a manager leaves a club. It's the new manager bump, whatever you want to call it. It does tend to happen for a few matches. And I just don't want this to wear off after a few matches. I want them to bring that in every Premier League match for the rest of the season. That's what I want, because that's what it's going to take to finish top 4 at this point, because United's about to get a new manager bump. There's been some rumors Slot is going to be gone this week too, so that'll be interesting. And it's just one of those things. I don't know. I really just enjoyed the way this team played. Enzo Fernandez getting the goal and then going into the stands to celebrate with the fans. Mwah. Chef's kiss, my friend. Chef's freaking kiss. Enzo, there is, I wrote it in the blog, I'll say it here, that I don't know outside of Reece if there's a player on this team that bleeds more blue, that is more Chelsea through and through than Enzo Fernandez. And I know he gets so much slack. I know he has been getting the brunt of it this year a lot. I've given it to him. Jason's given, we call him Fatzo sometimes because he comes in out of shape a lot of times. Enzo, he's very inconsistent. His defending is shit. But maybe if, you push him further up the pitch, who knows what can happen. And I don't know. This game strangely gives me some optimism and hope for the rest of this season that we won't just shit the bed and fall to 15th, 16th, 17th in the table. I don't think we'll be in a relegation battle like we were 3 years ago after Potter left. But I do feel like that this team, we said it this summer on this podcast, his big thing was use the momentum from the Club World Cup to catapult us into this season. And that's, I think, ultimately why he picked us to win the league this year. I didn't have those balls to do that, but he did. So kudos to him. And I feel like we have these moments in these times where we show up and we play a full 90. We're just very inconsistent. Maybe it's the youth on the team. I don't know. Maybe there needs to be some leadership on the team. I don't know. Wink, wink, Clear Lake. You bunch of tools, twats. Gosh. I'm pumping the brakes on Clear Lake stuff. But, yeah, I mean, as far as this match went, the only thing that could have been better was a win, but shit, I'll take a 1-1 draw with City with the state of this club currently. So, no problem with it. Very optimistic coming out of this match, shockingly. But look, if you've watched these last few episodes on this podcast, while I've been here by myself, number one, I'm depressed because Jason's not here, and it sucks. It sucks ass that every time he leaves the freaking country, we lose a manager. And it sucks. I have to do stupid manager podcasts without him, and it sucks ass. And I hate it. I hate doing this podcast by myself to begin with. But then I know a damn manager's getting fired while he's out of the country, so I got to do that one by myself. So anyway, that number one, that's depressing. Number two, we fired Maresca. Whether you wanted it done or not, it still sucks. Number three, everybody's finally starting to realize that Clear Lake's a bunch of asshats and they're shit at their job, and this project is all bullshit. That's finally starting to happen, which I'm excited about. But there's not been a lot of positives over these last 2 weeks. We still haven't won out of our last 8 or 9 matches. Like, we're one of our last 9 wins, I think, in the Premier League now. Whatever it is. Most of that's on Maresca. Well, it's all on Maresca. So anyway, it hasn't been a lot. I've dressed in black. I've been depressed. Said a lot of shit about Clear Lake. I stand by every bit of it. But yeah, I hope that this match gave me some hope. This match gave me some, man, it was like a shot of hopium. Like, I just got jacked up, and maybe it'll come crashing down on Wednesday when we play Fulham. I don't know. But for the next day, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy this hopium that I'm high on. I'm going to enjoy it. And I've enjoyed it since Sunday because it was a hell of a match. Pretty depressing for 90 minutes. A lot of me cussing out Neto and text messages to Jason. But yeah, it was, we're here. We made it through. We survived. We got a point. Now, what can you do with that is the question. Can Callum inspire the team again? Can Callum get them up for another match? Because he will be in charge against Fulham. Found that out. I know some of you might be, probably not, but maybe you're wanting to hear my opinion on Mr. Liam Rogenbarger. I can't pronounce his last name. I'm shit at pronouncing names. So I've decided to go the Rookie of the Year route with his last name. And if you've ever seen that movie, the manager cannot pronounce Henry's last name, and it's Rowan Gardner. So, and he calls him Rutabaga and calls him all sorts of shit. So I've decided that I'm just going to call him Liam Rogenbarger. I don't know. I'm going to make up the last name for him because I don't care. But I will be doing a podcast when he is officially announced. This is Monday night. Still hasn't been officially announced. Got a press conference at Strasbourg in the morning where everybody's predicting he's going to say his farewells to Strasbourg and then come over here to be in charge for the weekend match. So I believe it will be the FA Cup, if I'm not mistaken. I believe we play in the FA Cup this weekend. Charlton FA Cup on Saturday. So at 2:00 in the afternoon. So we play Fulham on Wednesday, which Callum will be the manager again. And I'm just going to throw this one out there and win. Callum wins. He score a couple goals, maybe 3, maybe 4 goals. Let's give him an interim tag to the end of the year. See what Callum can do. Let him cook. So yeah, I don't know. I'm here for it. I'm here for a Callum interim manager tag to the end of the year. And you know what? Hey, look, maybe he pulls a Di Matteo. Maybe he pulls a little Robert Di Matteo. That's all I'm saying. Takes us to the Champions League finals. We beat Bayern Munich in the finals after they crushed us in the first match of the Champions League. Wouldn't that be poetic? So yeah, the hope is high on this podcast. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm high on the hopium that Chelsea has given me. Maybe it'll come crashing down Wednesday. I don't think it will. I think we rock up to Fulham and win 2-1. I really do. 3-1. I'm going out on a limb. 3-1. I really do. I think Callum has inspired them. I think the players are ready to play the rest of the season out. And yeah, so I will be giving. I will have another podcast drop this week at some time, probably either Tuesday or Wednesday. Probably Tuesday. I don't know when the hell I'm going to drop another podcast. There will be one Wednesday for the match. I don't know when I'll drop the Liam podcast. I don't really have a lot to say about it, but I'll give my 2 cents on it anyway. But that will be coming out later this week. Look out for Wednesday night. There will be another podcast Wednesday night after the match. And yeah, follow us on all the socials, man. Red, White, Blues FC. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. There we go. Instagram, Twitter. And be looking. We got a couple special guests going to be coming on the next, hopefully next week. We will have that podcast up for y'all. And yeah, follow us, Red, White, Blues FC. We're on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast at. We're also on YouTube. So watch our videos over there if you prefer that video content. We also do other cool stuff on our YouTube page. Like if you're into cards, soccer cards like myself, we do soccer card opening videos. Order a lot of cards online. Spend way too much money. And I open them for Jason. We also do got a series chasing Cole Palmer's rookie card. So go over there, check out our YouTube page. We do some cool stuff on there. But yeah, Jason will be back next Monday night on the podcast. He will be back. So God, I'm ready for him to be back. I miss that guy. I can't wait for next Monday night when I don't have to do this solo by myself. But it looks like I got 2 more episodes to go this week before he comes back. So until then, we'll catch you guys and gals on the flip side.